dressed in proper Lolita are sitting there going, "Oh, such a pretty woman," and then
so
someone goes, "You do realize that's a gentleman," and they go, "Oh, yeah."
Yeah, Aisha loves traps. They really do. And then, like I went into the beginning, then there's of course the classic Gothic Lolita, elegant Gothic Lolita, which I could be more like an elegant Gothic style. It branches off so many ways. There's also even military Lolita. I've been seeing that, like whatever you want, you can use it. Pirate Lolita?
Pirate Lolita, yeah.
Oh, and then steampunk fusion, yeah, for sure. This outfit, specifically, I have these really cool black biohazard goggles that I like to wear with it, and it's not exactly steampunk, but I like to call it steampunk. Throw a cog in there, it makes me happy. Now, who wants to go into the general lifestyle aesthetic of Lolita as far as formality, manners?
Yeah, I could if you want.
Have at it.
Okay. Well, first of all, the fashion itself, it is just a fashion, but a lot of girls like to take it further because like they feel that it really has changed them as a person, like finding this. And it goes past what we do. We just like to go to tea parties together and we'll go to fancy places, but some girls will take their entire life. They will change up their room to be completely elegant. They'll use perfect manners. They'll wear the style every day. And they'll, let's see, I'm trying to think. I was talking to a girl online and she was just really, really into it. And she would go out of her way to like set the table exactly perfect, even when she was eating brunch just by herself. She knew pretty much every page of Emily Post's etiquette, the like book that's like this thick, by heart. It was very strange. She could balance books on her head even. She wanted to be like the perfect like Victorian resurrection essentially, and just everything she did was like very elegant to match her style and stuff, so it was really cool.
Yeah, in general, we're way more casual
Yeah.
than that.
Much more.
You might just guess from my attitude that I don't quite
Oh, yeah.
fit that mold, but yeah, I'm not afraid to swear like a sailor if I'm mad at something, and then people give me funny looks when I'm wearing this. But yeah, I mean, just because you wear Lolita, it's up to you how far you want to take it. My room, I like to just keep it super cutesy, and that's how I roll with it. When we're together at the dinners and stuff, I do appreciate, in general, everyone does have better manners about them though. Everyone is very polite and courteous without going too crazy. It's still fun, it's still relaxed. That's definitely something that you make your own. And as far as Lolita goes, it can get expensive. It can get really pricey depending on what you do. You can go anywhere from going to thrift stores to find Loliable pieces that could kind of work to coordinate a wardrobe, or you can go to the brands that are big in Japan that have been around and you're paying $500, $600, up to $1,500 for a dress. It can go anywhere and you take it where you want. For the most part, we try to stay in a better budget than that because that's an expensive lifestyle to maintain. But basically, if you're looking into getting Lolita on a budget, who wants to talk about the places that you can go to kind of get that style without that price tag?
I was going to say my blouse is from a thrift store.
Mine too.
Yeah, my shoes are from the thrift store, so
Yeah.
you can go to thrift stores. You can go. There's some things at Hot Topic. You can go like accessories, bows. There's I got one of my blouses. I actually got it at Agassi at Gurney Mills, and it was like $5. So, and it's all frilly and everything.
It has a puff sleeve. So.
Yeah, so you can pretty much get it anywhere. Claire's has a lot of accessories.
Icing,
Forever 21.
I love Forever 21.
Right now, the whole romantic pastel frilly thing seems to be very, very popular amongst normal modern day fashion. So it's really, really nice to be able to simply walk into a store and you'll see something and be like, oh, okay, I can use that in both my everyday casual out and about wardrobe, and then I can also use that for my Lolita wardrobe. So a lot of dual pieces can be found, and if you're one of those crafty people, you can also edit things by adding lace, taking away, modding a collar. That's basically how I go about it because I don't have a ton of money to spend on Lolita, and you slowly work your way up to it. you can either go right in and spend thousands of dollars right off the bat, or you buy piece by piece by piece by piece, like with anything else that you're building up, like gaming books or something very similar to that. You buy it like one at a time what you need, and you go on from there. So,
Like, I went to Charlotte Rouge and got a bunch of hair bows that were like hers with the flowers and stuff.
Oh yeah, I got a mini top hat at Claire's. I was very pleased. Never thought I'd see that. So basically, just a lot of your mall shops. If you're ever shopping around for anything Lolita, you can look around. It's just gonna be, if it has a big bow on it, it's a good contender for something you can wear with Lolita.
that's very stoked.
Yeah, good
Very
for
vintage
Yeah.
feels.
Lace.
Anything that has a very vintage feel to it also normally pair very nicely.
Vintage stores even work. For a lot
And
of
of course,
places.
the internet always works too.
Oh, yeah,
that's
They've
nice.
always been a great deal on a lot of brand name dresses. There's a lot of Lolita communities and auction sites online where you can buy like a brand name dress that normally goes for like, I don't know, hundreds of dollars, and you can get it for a pretty good deal. Most cases they're used or, well, like lightly used, because many Lolitas don't wear Lolita brand clothing every single day. So sometimes they sell their stuff online and you can buy it for a pretty good price.
And that's also something that's really nice about Lolita. You know, not exactly related to this, but if you do decide that you're leaving Lolita, it's not like you buy a t-shirt at Hollister or something and the resale value is kaput once you've bought it. Lolita, you can generally sell even at half price pretty decently, and some prints that are really popular, you can sell years later for, I've seen stuff sell a time and a half, 2 times, 3 times their original retail value. So when you make an investment in Lolita, when you leave, you're getting some chunk of money back, like a security deposit, effed up the house a little bit, but you're getting something out of it, which is also, like, for me, that's really nice. I appreciate that. And it's a little sad sometimes Lolitas, you know, do get in a financial crisis and they start selling off their stuff, but, you know, it's nice to see that other people get into it. Secondhand sales are huge with Lolita. I bought so many of my things secondhand.
Yeah, I don't have very many new clothing. A lot of my stuff is used.
Yeah, but nothing too wrong with that. It is
Yeah.
hugely welcomed in the Lolita community, which I appreciate.
At least our community.
Huh?
At least our community, because there are other communities that are very strict about that. They, some communities you have to wear brand, and if not, you are completely outed. It's just you can't do your own
You're
thing.
not in the group.
Right,
It
exactly.
kind of goes with the lifestyle.
It's
Yes.
Does that really
Second
go
body
against
line.
everything that started the Lolita fashion? I mean, it started out as a Japanese street fashion where these people were selling their own stuff and then wearing it on the bridge in Harajuku. Going to just wearing a brand, that really seems like the polar opposite of where the movement started from.
It's like a normal mainstream fashion. There's girls that will make their own fashion, but once they get into stuff like Juicy, all that other couture stuff, they're like, oh no, banish. It's all brand name stuff. It's the same concept as
You
Lolita.
have to be wearing Abercrombie or
Yeah.
If you don't have a Coach purse, you're not in kind of thing.
It's
Right.
pretty
Yeah.
controversial in the community itself. Some
Yeah.
Lolitas will only wear brand name stuff, like really expensive dresses.
Like,
But it's just not, at least in my opinion, it's just not practical to think that way, that you can always buy a brand name dress.
All depends on how much money you have.
right.
Yeah, a lot of Lolitas are in college, like Nicole and I. We can't afford that.
Technology I once used
That's
to
why this group is good, we don't care.
Also, keep in mind in Japan, especially if they're going to be school age girls, they are only going to own 1 or 2, maybe 3 Lolitas.
Yeah.
So for them, since they're wearing their school uniform most of the year, most of the week, seeing that they actually go to school 6 days of the week, you'll only see them in their outfits. They'll cycle through, they'll wear the same one every 3rd week when they have it. So at that point, it's not that hard for them to save up and have 3 proper brands. And then there is kind of that elitism that comes through from it of, well, I'm in brand, if I can be in brand, you aren't proper because you aren't there.
First, we should have like a raise of hands just to kind of show something. Who's wearing like the huge brands right now? Yeah.
I have one in my luggage, but
It depends.
Rose
Melody
Milk
just
Baby.
from Taobao.
yeah, this is from my
So, we're
I'm
obviously, yeah, that kind of behavior is usually frowned upon for the most part. Like elitism and stuff, and we obviously don't take part in that. It's kind of ridiculous.
I only do brand because I do have the money, so if I didn't, I would.
Should we talk
do
about
it.
like the better quality and stuff? Like
Well-
why it's worth it?
Yeah.
We can go into that. I did want to add, though, as far as the elitism, etc., persists, that is more so, from my understanding, an American way to handle the Lolita fashion. Because, like I said earlier, it's taken a different way in America. We're a lot more specific about what you should and shouldn't do, what's right and isn't right. If you buy too many off-brand things, or if your closet is full of replicas, because replicas are out there of those expensive designer dresses, you're frowned upon in some form. Again, we're more relaxed about it, but the difference is, for whatever reason in America, we made it way more specific than I feel like it really ever was in Japan, where they are a lot more relaxed and casual. I've known any person I've ever known who's gone to Japan has always said, I saw Lolitas out there and they were pairing this with this and it was so weird, and why did they do that? You know, it just depends with how much you take it, and here we take it a lot more seriously. And the differences in Japan too, like you were going into, made me think, the lifestyle in Japan too, it's so expensive to live in places like Tokyo, big cities, that for a lot of the time, a lot of young men and women, even through college and beyond that, are still living with their parents. As a result, they're working their jobs and not having to worry about rent or other expenses, so they have a lot more disposable income to spend on these very, very high-priced brands, which is why you'll see a lot of younger people with designer stuff that are still living at home with their folks and somehow can afford it, you know, as a result. So there lies the difference there, whereas in America, we're workaholics and, you know, we have a lot of stuff to pay for, and as a result, there's less disposable income there. And yes, there is a method to the madness with brand, but when you're looking at 500 plus, I doubt they're spending $250 worth of materials. I'm sure there's small children working in sweatshops for some of these dresses, and it was not that expensive to make, but high quality brands for sure. I've never owned a brand dress, but
Soon.
everyone, you know, you should talk about this part, brand dresses. What makes them worth the money?
For myself, at least, it's the brand name. I like wearing, this would be Metamorphosis. It's probably one of my favorite brands. And for me, I like the quality too. It's very pretty, it's well made. A lot of times I find my stuff actually on eBay. And I actually do it daily. I go to eBay daily, look up all the different brands, see what's there, see if it's actually in my size. If it is, and I can afford it, I will get it. So I do like that brands, but I will actually go out and get volleyball stuff and other different outfits as well. But for me, it's more the name, but I do like the quality. I will make sure that the quality goes with the name when I buy it.
Yeah, how would you compare the quality of, say, bodyline dresses you've gotten versus other dresses you've gotten? What are the differences in the details, fabrics, what they add?
The lace, especially with brand, lace is more soft. It's not the crinkly stuff that sometimes crinolines are made out of. Thicker fabric. Skirts tend to be fuller, exactly, yes. So for me, that's worth the money.
And another huge thing with the brand dresses is they afford their own prints. So you will see dresses that are printed from top to bottom, gorgeous, elegant prints, beautiful prints, fun prints, prints that other people can't quite do unless, of course, you're going into a replica brand, which I guess we could kind of segue into replicas, but that's a huge thing. Those different prints are trademark of that brand. So if you're into Lolita fashion, you can see a print and generally guess what it is, that and the name of the brand is generally printed on it too.
And so yeah, and then also if you're closely looking at a regular print, like an original print, from, say, from Metamorphosis, and then someone made a replica of it, someone can actually look at the replica and go, that's a replica because I've seen the original, and so I know that that's a fake. And so some people are very nitpicky, actually, unfortunately.
And so that does kind of segue into replicas itself, because not everyone can afford those dresses, but there are companies out there that replicate those exact fabrics. I know a seller on Facebook that I specifically follow, dun dun dun, and they will literally sell the fabric itself. Like, I know someone who had this beautiful, it's called Vampire Requiem, and beautiful, beautiful, gorgeous print. They took that print and turned it into drapes, curtains. Like, it was amazing. It looks great like that. You know, and there's no way they could have ever done that, brand or not, if it weren't for those replica sellers. And it's a way to get Lolita brand name dresses affordably, but it has such a stigma because it's just like seeing someone with, you know, you see Chanel knockoff bags all the time, or Louis Vuitton is one that you guys may actually be more familiar with, knockoffs all the time. And I know with my regular day-to-day life, I really don't like people that wear replica bags. It's like, just get a bag that looks cool. Why are you doing that? But with Lolita, for whatever reason, my brain is wired differently, and I'm okay with the idea of a replica as long as I can get that fabric. But generally you can get it a lot cheaper, anywhere from $50 to $100. They might up it up to $150, but you'll definitely get it for half or less of the actual dress. Some people, it's worth it to save up and get that one right brand dress. To some people, it's a dress, it makes them happy, they're okay with it. But that's definitely something of heated controversy across the different Lolita communities. If you're wearing brand, not brand, off brand, it's funny because in American senses, brand is just, there's Reebok, there's Nike, it's a brand, you know, there's a tag with a name on it, that's a brand. Whereas technically, I think 70, 80